Welcome, residents, to the Dr. DC podcast. My name is producer Richard, and next to me is the Doctor himself.
Hello.
Each week, we talk about the weird and wonderful world of DC while fielding questions from listeners like you. Speaking of listeners like you.
Yeah, listeners like our guest.
Oh my God, that is right. The winner of all of you. The one winner.
Yeah, the one of you goddamn mouth breathers we allow onto this.
Yeah, the one that slipped through. We are joined today by resident
so mean
ButtButtFartButt of the Kensington Fart Butts.
Hi. I don't know what to do with my hands.
Yes. Yeah, keep them where we can see them.
Based on your name, I'm not so concerned about your hands.
Welcome, Butt. Butt won our Patreon contest during Fanagar. He, before the start of the tournament, correctly called the winning Fanagar tournament of pandering.
The year
theme.
2 that this was an option.
Yeah.
But nobody
the first time that somebody
year.
actually managed it, though. So the prize for that is getting to spend an evening with us.
Some may see it as a prize. Some may see it as a punishment.
Yep.
Who's to say?
Can it be both?
Oh, I mean, if we're lucky.
Yeah. See, there we go.
Yeah, the prize is the punishment.
But I mean, obviously you're a listener. You are obviously interested in comics. We know that, from chats on the Discord and all this sort of stuff. But how did you get into comics? What was your first experience with it?
I'm glad you asked. Reed.
What a great question.
I'm a really good interviewer.
When I was a kid, my dad used to read The Funnies to me a lot. And then when I was in first grade, we were up in Atlanta visiting my grandparents. And I remember I was probably being a pain in the ass. And my dad was like, "Hey, I know, we're going to buy you some comic books," literally to shut me up. And so he bought me some kiddie stuff, but he also bought me Flash 91.
You're going to be in trouble, man. Be careful about what you're telling. Jesus, you're getting the kiddie stuff. That's not good.
Oh, it was great. It was so good.
Oh, anyway, no. They sell that in a store? I got to make a call.
Jesus Christ.
Only in Atlanta.
Oh, that makes sense.
So what was some of the kid stuff that was I'm trying so hard not to say kiddie stuff.
What's that children content that you had?
Good Lord. What was some of the non-kid stuff you got?
My first hero book was Flash 91, which I think it was 91, but it was in the year 1991 as well. And it was this issue where he teamed up with Superman. And I remember part of the issue starts where he's talking to Pied Piper. This is Wally, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And Pied Piper tells him he's gay. They're trying to figure out what makes the Joker tick. Could you get him if you were could you get him on tax evasion or something like that? And
yeah.
And Pied Piper comes out to Wally, and Wally doesn't know what to make of it. And I was too young to know what gay was, you know. But I love this comic, and as I come back when I'm older and reread it, I love it even more. Just for the things I didn't get,
Yeah.
I still don't know what gay is, but
I mean, what is, man? Sexuality is just flexibility, man. I mean,
if there's an overarching theme to this podcast,
what is gay?
But yeah,
love each other.
That's awesome. I mean, that's such a cool kind of first issue to kind of stick out in your head. I mean, so I'm going to assume Flash is a character that you still kind of have an attachment to, but who are some of your favorite DC characters? Who are the ones that if they've got a series or a major appearance, you're there for it?
Oh man. These days it's anyone who's not a regular,
Right.
If it's not a Superman book or a Batman book, I love Green Lantern.
Mm-hmm.
If you're looking for things that aren't regular, you must love the Doctor.
Hey, It's
I'm
what brought
regular.
me over, man.
I have a giant coffee every morning.
And then you leave the office for
And
an
then
hour.
I leave the office for an hour. I demand that nobody asks me any questions about that time.
Yeah, and you come back from the park.
Yeah, sweaty.
And like 10 pounds lighter.
Okay, Green Lantern.
Yeah.
Green Arrow. I mean, I'm really more someone who follows writers for, interesting art, things like that. I've been buying everything right now.
Right.
Who
are some writers that stand out to you?
Tom King, he's like my favorite writer. That's for Bruno. Obviously, like, big ones like Morrison. Morrison just does such interesting things anytime he gets a project. I like him a lot. I like Venditti.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I like Venditti a lot. Did you read that Hawkman series?
I did. He wasn't the writer who started on it, though, was he?
Yeah, he was. That series, start to finish, was Venditti.
Oh man, I really loved the start of that. Just kind of like it had every thing I like about Hawkman. It has like Indiana Jones type lore, and like adventures. He's hitting shit with his mace, like being fucking Hawkman. And then it gets into like his legacy across time and space, and it's even more interesting if you've been reading Hawkman for a really long time.
Yeah, totally, absolutely. Well, then let's turn this a little bit, because we knew that you won the contest. We knew you were going to guest on the show.
Yeah.
And so then the question was, what is the theme for the show going to be? And we came around to Captain Atom. How did that come up? What does Captain Atom as a character mean to you?
So I actually got that idea unintentionally from my LCS guy. He had recommended the Bates run of Captain Atom, Bates Wiseman. And I'd been reading on it, and I was like, I really just like this run and kind of like the spin they've made on this character. I thought it would be pretty interesting to talk about.
Yeah.
Kind of get into a little bit. It's not something that people typically read a lot of, he hasn't done a lot since then,
Yeah, exactly. It's true. Captain Atom as a character, and you'll see it from the questions too that we got. There's a lot of like, hey, like, is he coming back? He's a character that's sort of like kind of maligned, sort of forgotten. Definitely one of those characters that, speaking of Hawkman, there was an era for Hawkman that was kind of like this, which is like, I don't know that we know what to do with him. Maybe we shouldn't use him. And I think Captain Atom's in that space and sort of has been for a while, with the odd little exception. I'm pretty excited to talk about Captain Atom. I realized that the last time we did an episode that was even close to this kind of theme was the Charlton Comics episode.
Yeah.
Which I re-listened to just to see if we didn't actually end up talking about Captain Atom all that much, because there's more characters to that. But fun fact, that episode, first appearance of Shrek Morrison.
Oh, Shrek Morrison. Get out of my universal swamp.
Yeah, that joke is basically unevolved from that episode.
What else? What more can you do?
Yeah.
We're not smart enough to write like Morrison. So.
Exactly. We kind of trapped ourselves there.
Yeah. It was just like, what if a swamp was like a universe,
vibrations and farts.
Yeah. Nailed it.
Pretty much.
Yeah. See, this guy gets it.
Yes, that's right. But fart butt.
Yeah. Let's get into the question.
Let's do it.
All right. Well, first we're going over to Facebook.
Go to the face and the book. Go to the Facebook.
That's right. And oh my God, the first question, dude,
is it Trey Shove?
It's Trey Shove.
It's not just a little shove. He's Trey Shove.
Not un or the shove,
No, he is not. He is trash. I was trying to do both French and surfer, and it's not working.
Hold on, let me try.
Yeah, go.
It's a tray show.
Bruno.
Trey Shof asks, do you think there's a way to integrate Captain Atom back into regular appearances now that even Dr. Manhattan is a part of the main continuity?
So let's start first by just addressing why that's even a question. So Captain Atom has these sort of quantum powers based in, the nuclear forces and stuff like that. That character is the basis for Dr. Manhattan in Watchmen, because Alan Moore originally wanted to use those Charlton characters like Question, Blue Beetle, stuff like that. And DC was like, we kind of just acquired these characters. Please don't kill them. And so he made basically versions of them for Watchmen, he and Dave Gibbons.
Okay.
So Dr. Manhattan is essentially an interpretation of Captain Atom. So the question now is, with Dr. Manhattan actually being part of DC continuity now, during from Rebirth to Doomsday Clock and stuff like that, has he fully pushed Captain Atom out of relevance?
Yes.
Yeah, you think so?
For the most part, yeah. Continuing continuity, yeah, I think so. I don't think there's really room, even in the Bates run. Like, it was a lot more about the characters around him than it was just about him. Right. Which is what made it as interesting as it was. It was more about his relationships, more about the morality that like different situations people were being faced with. And now that Dr. Manhattan's there, I think you could tell that type of story with other characters, but I feel like they already do. I don't know why we would need to bring Nathaniel in.
See,
I don't know. What do you think, Doc?
It's funny because short version, I was going to answer the same question, but just in that I don't know that the two I don't think this town is big enough for the two of them. But I was going to say, I think Manhattan has sort of served his purpose in Doomsday Clock. And obviously, there's a little bit of a cliffhanger thing about his power being transferred, all this kind of stuff. But Manhattan is essentially gone. My hope would be Captain Atom now has room to come back, that there aren't these competing things. But it's interesting. My thought is that Manhattan is interesting as the idea of this sort of God tier version. But I think for me, when Captain Atom is best is when he's still tied to those powers and can, time travel or, things like that. But he doesn't have a mastery of them. I think there's an element of Captain Atom that is accidents. So, when he becomes Captain Atom, he's accidentally transported 20 years in the future. If he, in the New 52, if he used his powers too much, it would break down his molecules. He might go insane or die. There's an element to Captain Atom that is it's too much for him. And Manhattan is just God tier, full control, can manipulate all of quantum reality.
Yeah.
And I do think there's a space for Captain Atom. And now that Dr. Manhattan's kind of done his bit, we've had our fun with Doomsday Clock, it might be neat to bring him back in. I don't want to make him sound like Inspector Clouseau, like bumbling Dr. Manhattan, but there is kind of an element of just not having a handle on it.
That's interesting.
What kind of role do you think he would serve? If they brought him back, do you think he would be a Justice League member, or? I
think he works best when he has that sort of whether sort of reluctant, sort of out of obligation tie to the government, right? The Justice League works because they are not the government. This is the crux of the Steve Rogers argument in Civil War kind of thing, but. Captain Atom has this history of being sort of blackmailed or press ganged or part of the Air Force. So he has to answer to the government. He has to fight the bad guys the government says are bad guys, whether or not they are. That was the thing that came up in Superman, Batman, Public Enemies in that arc.
Yeah.
Luthor's the president. Captain Atom has to go bring them in. Like I kind of like that. Like he knows he's kind of being used as a stooge, but he doesn't have a way out. And he, again, if you then fold in that his powers have this almost like accident kind of quality to them.
Do you know who that sounds like where he belongs? It's the Doom Patrol.
Yes.
Wow. Interesting.
Yes.
That I kind of like that.
I feel like right? Like,
well, shit.
God damn, Richard.
like, I mean, just based on it all, like, doesn't really have control over it. It's way more power than he knows how to use. Like,
sort of an accidental government experiment.
Taken advantage of.
Well, fuck. I mean, definitely it would be like the TV show could easily do it.
Yeah.
The comics might have a slightly harder time just because of like the buildup of continuity and stuff, but I don't dislike that.
Look at that.
Well, fuck.
Hell yeah.
I could see Gerard Way jumping right on.
Oh, yeah. He would be the perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty interesting. There you go.
I'm waiting for my
Look at you. You're one of us now.
Look.
You really are.
Just don't look behind me. Yeah.
Yo, honestly, though, don't look behind him. The way he's organized.
Shut up.
My
God.
Just for everyone listening, we've talked about it last week. Richard and I, we conned a widow out of a bunch of comics, and we split them up.
Then we split our winnings between us.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not high-fiving that.
Yeah, let's split her in half.
Richard has been getting on my case that it's taking me a long time to put my comics away, but I'm bagging them and boarding them. Richard is not doing that.
Board is a great word to use.
He's also put them in boxes that don't have any internal logic. He's also essentially sorted them alphabetically from right to left, which is crazy.
Why is that crazy?
And then up for his trades, he has them sorted left to right by publisher, but right to left by title. It's truly like I said to Richard that if he committed a crime, then later the cops would come and search his house and go, this is open and shut. The guy was clearly a psycho. Look how he organized his comics.
And then the other cop would go, you fucking nerd, and punch that other cop. It makes total sense to me.
It makes zero sense.
Teams belong.
Except you have some teams there. Legion, New Gods.
Okay.
They're not in the teams box.
They were too big of a collection. And then to be fair, I also just kind of forgot them and found them at the end and was like,
Jesus Christ.
Look, it's fine. I'll just take the labels off and you won't have to think about it.
Hurts me.
Well,
that's why we're facing this way.
Mission accomplished. All right. Let's leave Facebook and head on over to Twitter.
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 Twitter, Master Wade.
First question comes from Colin J. Video.
Oh, Colin J. Video.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but it's fine. Different Colin.
Yeah. This is a Colin. The J is for jerk off video.
Oh, I think I subscribed to that.
Yeah, it's on Josh Hub.
Oh, yeah. Wait a minute. That's not a Josh. Oh, the J stands for Josh.
Colin Josh video.
Yeah. It's a call in Josh video.
Oh, God. That's complicated.
It's like a cam video.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you call in and say what you want.
Chatter Josh.
Have we not done that yet? God, that is too good. Colin J. Video asks, who's the more powerful, a better character, whatever? Firestorm or Captain Up and At Them?
Okay. All right. But over to you. Who's better? And then also who's more powerful? And then maybe also who do you like more?
Ooh.
Firestorm or Captain Atom?
Hit it, Butt.
Let's start with the whatever. Who's more whatever? Definitely Firestorm. I think at the end of the day, I probably like Firestorm more. He's him being two different people is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I really loved what they did with Firestorm and Doomsday Clock.
Yeah.
I mean, I love everything they did in Doomsday Clock, but that's a whole different story. Richard, go ahead and buy Doomsday Clock.
He's
I've got it. I've got it.
It's hard to find because there's no discernible order to anything.
Yeah, it's just next to fucking C.
Yeah. but C is on the wrong side.
Oh wow, I see.
There's a really great moment in the Bates run where he fights Firestorm and who's forget Ronnie. Ronnie is near Captain Atom, wants to fight, and Professor's like hundreds of miles away, about to eat a sandwich, and like his eyes do the little symbol, and he's like, Ronnie, no, it's my lunch break.
Yeah, that's a thing we don't talk about nearly enough about Firestorm, is that in the comics they did not have to be next to each other to merge into Firestorm.
Really?
Nope. Yeah, just the craziest shit. Yeah, Professor Stein elsewhere in the middle of his lunch break was like, whoop, oh shit.
Well, that's weird. What if he was like taking a shit?
Oh, then he's taking a shit in Ronnie's brain.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Or Firestorm could turn that shit into something else. He could transmute it.
That's true.
Transpoop it.
He could transpoop it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could turn into an ice cream cone. You never know. But
chocolate.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's pretty. I think I agree that Firestorm is probably. Well, a little caveat for me. I think Firestorm has had more better stories than Captain Atom has. I don't know that I think like inherently Firestorm is more interesting than Captain Atom.
He's just had more opportunity.
But he's definitely he landed and got people's interest faster and better and more often than Captain Atom has. Maybe that's an indication of something inherent to the idea of the character.
Yeah.
But I just think like, you know, it's this is my like VHS Betamax thing. Like I think Captain Atom might be Betamax. Like he's like a cool version. He might even be better, but like they never landed it. Like people couldn't get on board. It was too dense to get into, as opposed to Firestorm that had this really easy access point of like jock professor stuck together. The jock is the driver. The professor tells him how to do things. It's like such a good hook for that series. And Captain Atom, I guess, doesn't have that.
Well, hold on. He's got the same nickname as you? Betamax?
I'm not Baymax. I'm not.
No, I just meant you're a beta to the max.
Oh, yeah, definitely. No argument here, sir.
I'm not big like Baymax, but I am a beta to the max.
To the max. Yeah. Well, I mean, unless you don't think so, then it's not, doesn't have to be
the
max.
maxi seems like a.
Okay, I think I agree. Firestorm may be more interesting, just canonically.
Mm-hmm.
Let's put it this way: if tomorrow you saw that a Captain Atom comic was being sold or a Firestorm comic, and you had to choose, which one would you choose? You know?
Oh, I mean, I might pick Captain Atom actually, but that's also me doing that thing where it's like this happens rarely. I want this.
Yeah.
You know, like
if I
have that instinct in me where it's like this character hasn't seen the light of day in a while. I should get on this.
I'll say that somebody who doesn't know enough about either of them.
Yeah.
I think that Ronnie was really boring on the Flash, so I go Captain Atom.
Okay, just based on the Flash.
Yeah.
See, but you didn't go into Legends of Tomorrow because once Jax is Firestorm, that's a way better dynamic on the show.
Fair, yeah.
Jax and Stein are great.
Okay, Ronnie was boring as hell.
Well,
yeah.
Well, what if you saw that Tom King was writing Captain Atom?
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely then.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, unless it was
Who would you pick though? Firestorm and Captain Atom have a series coming out in November, let's say. And you can only get one. Who are you getting?
I mean, the truth is I would buy both, but oh man.
Remortgage the house. We're getting 2 comics, baby.
We'll find someone to adopt our kid, right?
Look, I'm right here. I told you, $20K.
Now I think, like, you know, obviously it would go into who's writing it, who's doing art, all that stuff. But I would really, if it was a solid writer on Firestorm, I'd probably go Firestorm.
Sure, yeah.
And you're like, hey, but why did you pick Captain Atom?
That's hilarious. Yeah, it's like, yeah, let's do a Captain Atom episode. I don't really like him.
Yeah. I do. I do like him, and I really like that run. But I would wonder, like, what's the angle? Because I feel like you would have to have an angle with Captain Atom.
That definitely is the feeling that I think even creators.
Because why didn't you use like Captain, like Dr. Manhattan, right?
Or
like,
Firestorm?
Yeah.
Because they both can do some transmuting powers. So let's talk about their powers a little bit. Firestorm can transmute non-organics, so he can turn rocks into cotton candy or whatever, like air into lead, that sort of stuff. And he also can fly. He could shoot sort of fire energy blasts. He could do some sort of like radiation energy emission stuff. So can Captain Atom. Captain Atom also has control of the quantum field, can do some limited moving through time, although often not with a ton of control. He can absorb and emit energy, energy blasts, flight, all sorts of stuff. I think he's probably a bit physically stronger and more durable than Firestorm, I would say.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you're right. I think people tend to have to be like, I have a reason to do Captain Atom, as opposed to like, I just want to do Firestorm.
Yeah.
Like Firestorm does seem to be the more flexible choice.
Yeah, you have to have like a purpose, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know why. On paper, it shouldn't make a difference, but that does seem to be like what distinct makes them distinct.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the next question. From Adam Talking Superman.
Sure.
They ask, you think Monarch is kind of more interesting?
Ooh. Interesting. So remember, Monarch is the bad guy from Armageddon 2001. This is a character that was going to be revealed to be Nathaniel Atom, Captain Atom, who had gone bad in the future. But people guessed it, and DC went, no, now the whole thing's ruined. And so they like crammed the story around making it Hank Hall, who becomes Monarch. And yet, then later, in the future, Captain Atom ends up having some problems with his powers and with his suit, because his like skin is made of this alien metal, and that he's basically living energy inside this alien metal suit. And he ends up having to wear the Monarch armor, and then that slowly makes him go evil and become Monarch. So they do eventually then come back around and make Captain Atom Monarch. And that Monarch recruits like characters from across the multiverse and stuff. He's got sort of designs on taking down the monitors and things like that. But what do you think? Do you think like his tenure as Monarch was maybe more interesting than his tenure as Captain Atom?
Yeah, probably. I mean, so as Captain Atom, like kind of the closest thing he did to what Monarch did was when he led the superheroes in Invasion, you know. And essentially he's doing the same thing with supervillains, as Monarch. So it's kind of conflict is more interesting. I would say. So yeah, I think he's probably more interested in Monarch. I haven't read all of that, so it's hard for me to say for sure.
Listen, people listening at home, your boy loves a multiverse, John.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, baby.
Fucking right.
Multiverse. So aggro about comics. So there's a element of that and the lore of like he's been like hiding in the bleed so that the monitors can't find him and all that stuff. There's stuff like that I'm like, I really like that stuff, but is it really about his character? And I would answer no. And I think the things that I find more interesting are probably the Captain Atom stuff, where it's like he's like, shit, like I'm stuck kind of under the thumb of General Eiling. I have to do his bidding. They didn't clear my name. I was wrongfully convicted for a crime. I don't have full control of my powers.
my family hates me.
My family hates me. The general who is controlling me has married my wife and is raising my kids.
Been there.
He's like, I'm working for the government, but I'm not necessarily always doing the right thing. I've fallen in love with a supervillain, but then maybe I'm not a great hero and she's not a great villain, and somewhere in between we could be together. Like, I think I find that stuff more interesting. I just don't know if outside of a couple of sort of runs of Captain Atom, I don't know if anyone else has really been able to pull it off. But it's the thing we talk about with Superman, where the best Superman stories are not about how much he can lift. And I think the trap of Captain Atom is the allure of his powers, or being like, what if he was more like Dr. Manhattan? And really, you got to scale it back. You got to make it about the personal things. Where's his family? Who is he? Who does he think he is? Does he believe in doing the right thing? Is he, you need like a for all seasons Captain Atom, I think.
Oh, I'd read the fuck out of that tomorrow.
Monarch is the perfect example of people being like, but his power, and it's cool as shit. But like, I don't know that's
not the thing that's unique about him.
Yeah, I think that's my. Yeah.
What does he do in spite of his power?
Yeah.
It's definitely not what made the Bates run work, which was all of that stuff.
Yeah,
It was the personal stuff and the story about the people around him. And so I think maybe you're right. Maybe I give up. You're right.
No, I know. I mean, it's not a right or wrong, but I do think it's interesting. Like, I think this is maybe part of why we don't see Captain Atom that much, is like, there are people that just want him to cut loose. We want him to be Manhattan. And then there's people that are like, that's not working. And no one can agree. And no one knows where he sits, because we live in a world that also has Firestorm and Dr. Manhattan and I think people just don't know what to do with him. I think he's in that Hawkman zone, until we get someone to come in and Venditti Captain Atom. I think he's going to be stuck there a little bit.
Yeah.
All
right, let's go to the next question.
Sure.
From Mosaic Comics. They ask, all Captain Atom seems to do anymore is explode. Should he have stayed in the Wildstorm universe?
He does explode a lot. Captain Atom is a character
meet him both,
because we know he's powerful, but he's also living energy. So they could do this thing where it's like, we need to show that this is a dangerous time for superheroes. It's like, well, I explode Captain Atom. He'll either leap forward in time, or they'll just collect his energy again later. It's like, or we'll kill him. It doesn't matter. But they do that because he's so powerful. And then you go, shit, oh no. And it happens a lot.
Really?
Yeah. The first time I ever read or met Captain Atom that I can recall is like a few years back when I started reading Injustice, and I was like, who's this guy? He's not the small guy, he's the silver guy to bring in a Superman's fortress. And then it was like, oh, that was Captain Atom,
Yes. I mean, even in Justice League Unlimited, which I think is a cartoon that actually gives Captain Atom a lot to do and leans into the things I was talking about that I like about him, like that, but the line between duty and what's right and all that. Yeah, duty. Listen, it's an episode with ButtButtFartButt. I'm going to say duty.
Yeah, I would hope.
Yes.
But even his first appearance on that show, he absorbs too much energy from Brimstone. They're riffing on that Legends #3 Brimstone story a little bit.
Okay, yeah.
And then he goes and explodes in the sky. And then you see him at the end of the episode. They've collected his energy. They're pumping him back into his Dilustel metal skin. So even there, they're like, wow, we got to show that this is bad. Make him explode. And they use that in Flashpoint Paradox, that Captain Atom is this MacGuffin, that he's going to explode and destroy the world. Like his first appearance in DC, Nathaniel Adam. Well, actually, his first appearance in Charlton, Captain Adam Allen, or Colonel Adam Allen, whatever. It goes into a rocket that accidentally takes off and explodes, and it atomizes him, and then he pulls himself back together. And then the DC first appearance is he's fought in Vietnam. He's framed for a crime, and instead of going to prison or being killed, he volunteers, quote unquote, for this experiment where he sits in this alien metal ship and they detonate a nuke underneath him. I don't know what the experiment is. And vaporizes him, and he bonds to the metal, and he gains the nuclear powers, and he's flung 20 years in the future. So both of his Charlton and DC first appearances are him exploding.
Well, you'd think there'd be a lot more football with all these explosions in the sky. It's a Friday Night Lights joke.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Full eyes, clear quantum field, can't lose.
Yeah. We did it.
Full eyes? That's not it.
That's not.
Oh well.
Full mouth.
But what do you think? Do you remember that time where he was in the Wildstorm universe?
No, I never read any of his Wildstorm stuff.
I think it started with him exploding in the DC universe, and it kicks him over to the Wildstorm universe.
Jesus Christ, that really is all.
And then the whole premise of his time in the Wildstorm universe is like all those characters going like, at some point he's going to explode and destroy the universe, and he goes, "I won't," and they go, "We got to stop you from exploding," and he's like, "I won't," and then Apollo is like, "He will," and then it's like, "Shit, I will." Like,
I'm gonna go.
All of it is about him exploding. It's so true. So I don't know that he was better off in the Wildstorm universe.
Wow, that's insane. That really is all he does.
He explodes so much. I would say
he's really good at it.
I'm gonna put it out there without having read everything that Captain Atom is in. I'm gonna say he has exploded no less than 25 times.
I think that what you need to do then is make a book about him being constantly concerned he's going to explode.
But I think this is what I mean about him not having full control of his powers. It's not about him being like, whoop, that was wacky. Yeah. But like, I think he needs to just be scared of how much power is in him and cautious a bit. And then that's also how you take him down from being a Manhattan character. A, not a ton of control. B, he's not using all his power. So he's not as powerful as he could be because he's scared of it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I agree with that. That's good. All right, let's go to the next question from Hey-ha! Braydon. Yes, the donkey rises. So because Captain Atom is made of nuclear energy, how does dating work? Can he pretty much kiss the bedroom goodbye? I'm gonna explode.
Oh shit, I'm 20 years in the future.
Oh god.
He left again.
Yeah, I'm gonna travel the future all over your face.
Jesus Christ. So again, Captain Atom, Captain Nathaniel Atom, is basically living energy inside this Dilustel shell, this alien metal shell. That's essentially his skin. It's flexible metal. Like he doesn't look like steel. It's not like a suit. It looks like skin.
Okay.
So it can bend and stuff. I mean, if the question is, have we ever seen him get a boner? It's no, we haven't.
But seen him like be in a relationship.
He has been in a relationship. I mean, again, we haven't seen him fuck, but
I think I smell a new story.
He does in the Bates run.
He's definitely been in a relationship, but I don't remember that. I'm going to turn this over to Butt, but I was just going to say he was in a relationship with Plastique, originally a Firestorm villain, became one of his villains. Plastique, her name is Bette Sans Souci. In her original appearances, she was an FLQ terrorist.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
from Quebec, fighting for Quebec independence. That has since been retconned, but yeah. Okay, so I want to turn this over to Butt. You said he's rounded the bases. Let's have it.
Oh yeah. That's kind of part of the end of the Bates run. There's even there's a comic.
You would think at the end of a Bates run, he would be by himself.
The end of a Master Bates run.
That's what I was getting.
Hey.
Please continue.
Oh, haha. So like, there's an issue where he's been dating various women, and he kind of goes back to each woman. But it starts off with I can't think of her name right now, from JLE, the one he always flirts with.
Oh shit! Fuck.
She's French.
Is that not Plastique?
No.
No.
Another
No,
French
no, no.
girl.
Another
He's got
French one.
it
Oh,
tight.
Crimson Fox.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it's Crimson Fox. And she wants to take
Got
him
it
to
tight.
bed.
Yeah.
And he says no because he still hasn't gotten over his wife. So at some point he dies, gets over his wife by meeting her in the quantum realm, and she tells him she wants him to live his life. And kind of near the end of the Bates run, they're kind of gearing up for this big battle, and he and Plastique go to the desert, and there aren't panels of them actually fucking, but
There's no penetration. It didn't happen.
Yeah. Pans up to the drapes kind of thing,
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to ask the obvious question. Plastique's powers is that she can touch something and turn it into and make it explode. She has that.
Seems
that
like
power.
a bad relationship.
And then his power is that he is quantum energy. Do they deliberately go out to the desert kind of like a nuclear test site? Because that's what's going to happen.
I think that's part of it.
I love that. I like that in the way that I like the Black Canary blowing out the windows of the neighborhood sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Incredible. Well, holy shit. See, this is why we bring ButtButtFartButt in for that expertise, for that does Captain Atom fuck knowledge.
Look, we know what podcast we're on.
Oh, yeah, baby.
All right, next question from That Goes Cray.
Ain't it, Jay?
Watch it order.
Fish fillet.
Who asks, the Cray Ghost asks, I think the last time he got to be a character was all the way back in Justice League Europe. Am I wrong?
I mean, sort of being unfair to like runs of Captain Atom. Like, he had a run in the New 52. He had, I brought this because it's the only Captain Atom like trade I have, but it's the Bates Weissman Fall and Rise of Captain Atom from 2014 or something like that, 2015. Which is sort of neat, to see kind of those like old school creators on a new kind of story and stuff. It's throwing a little shade there, but I know what he's saying. I know what the question is saying. I would argue maybe the only one other than Justice League Europe, the only thing that maybe in the intervening time is like, I think solid Captain Atom is that Loeb, McGinnis, Batman Superman run where he's kind of like a crony of President Luthor, not because he loves Luthor, but because he has this sort of duty to his country. And he's sort of tasked him and Major Force, one of his villains, a villain with his powers, have to work together.
His name is Major Force.
Yeah, Captain Atom, Major
Jesus
Force.
Christ.
They are tasked to bring in the fugitive Superman and Batman. And again, I love the like moral quandary of Captain Atom.
Yeah.
And I think that's a solid run for that character.
That's a really good choice there, because that really plays on the element of him being trapped, which is kind of a consistent Captain Atom trope.
Yeah. And just the idea, like the morality of like, he knows Major Force is a monster. Major Force is the guy that stuffed Alex DeWitt in the refrigerator. But Luthor is like, nope, you're my team. This is the government. Those are your orders. And Captain Atom has to look over at this legitimate psychopath. Like Major Force is kind of like he's almost like a Cletus Cassidy type, like where Captain Atom was like an actual, kind of like military hero who was wrongly accused of something and forced into this experiment. While he is being flung 20 years in the future, they conduct the experiment again with someone who was dishonorably discharged because of like murders and sexual assaults and stuff like that. Like they give this power to a crazy psychopath. And then for Luthor to say, you two have to work together, Superman and Batman are the bad guys. Like I love the moral quandary of like the responsibility to your country, or the patriotism thing versus what is right. I dig that.
Is that in my Superman Batman run?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, baby.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
I'll easily find it in my boxes.
I guess. I wouldn't count on it.
I can see right now, Batman Superman in the team section. I got it.
It's not really a team. It's just two people, but
They teamed up. Therefore, team.
Don't tell that to a beach volleyball team.
yeah. It's Batman and Robin in there.
I don't have any Batman and Robin. I only have Batman. Why don't you learn the system? God, you'll never get it.
But do you have any other kind of moments for Captain Atom that stand out to you, other than sort of him leading like Justice League Europe or Extreme Justice or something like that?
No, not really. No, I mean, you suck, ButtButtFartButt. But I mean, I obviously remember him from Injustice. I've like come across him here and there, but never like has
like a major character.
He's always been a side character.
Totally.
It's so kind of sad because he was like the Superman of Charlton Comics. He was their most powerful character, this huge character, and then he just like has never found like a great footing in DC. There have been moments where it's like, yeah, Captain Atom's in and out of this, and we see him here, but he's never really established. I mean, Blue Beetle and The Question, other Charlton characters have way better established themselves. Like Captain Atom is like down with like, I mean, he's only just barely doing better than Peacemaker, but those days are done now that the Suicide Squad's out. Like Captain Atom really struggles. I still don't fully get why, but
I wonder, like, I mean, that seems like he's wrought for like an opportunity then, because like so long of this sort of being the like a bit of the joke. Like,
I think someone's got to give him a chance.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Yeah,
with the whole Simpsons connection, do you think there is a connection there? Like, do you think that?
Sorry, which connection are we talking about?
To have like the what's his name from The Simpsons? The superhero from The Simpsons.
What, Radioactive?
Yeah. Do you think there's a connection there?
I mean, not deliberately. No. I don't think so. Isn't there an actual Radioactive Man like in Marvel or something like that?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if it's Radioactive Man or Radiation Man, but yeah.
Right, yeah.
I think it might be Radiation Man, but yeah. I wonder.
I don't think it's really riffing on him specifically. I think it's just riffing on superheroes.
Yeah.
But remember, this is real acid, people. So
the goggles, they do nothing.
Up and at them.
Up and at them.
All right, next question comes from our favorite religious representative,
Chris Chan.
That's right, the one and only, who asks, before Watchmen, how was Captain Atom treated? So we just kind of said that a bit, but he's kind of the Superman of Charlton Comics, right?
Certainly in the Charlton era, before DC brought it on bought the sort of action hero characters of Charlton Comics. He was a big name. He had his own title. He was big. They technically had like a, what did they call it? Did they call it Action or Action Command or not Action Comics, but they had like an action heroes like book where they not fully teamed them up, but they sort of smashed some of those Charlton characters together with their stories, like Question, Blue Beetle, stuff like that. But Captain Atom was big for a bit there.
Captain Atom, in this run, they retcon his Charlton story by making it part of his fake story that he tells.
That's right. Yeah, there's something interesting there because so the DC one is Nathaniel Atom, but then they're like, well, where has he been for 20 years? We need him to have like instant trust. So they retcon that the Charlton adventures are all manufactured backstory for Captain Atom. But then at least one of his villains models himself on the fictional villain that's based on his Charlton continuity. Dr. Spectro, I think, is sort of born out of being like, no, I will be a real Dr. Spectro.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What an insane thing to do.
Yeah, it's kind of wacky.
I kind of love that.
I don't dislike it.
It's great. And then his relationship with Blue Beetle is kind of rocky to start with, but then they form this friendship for a little while There's this one issue where they're like going on a drug busting mission, and they're like, "Hey, buddy, what's up, amigo?" And they're like flying out, and Blue Beetle like has come around to like him because he believes that Dan had a relationship with, a friendship with Captain Atom based off of this fake story.
Right.
And it's all a lie. And Nathaniel has to just sit there and be like, "Yeah, it was great. It was awesome."
Yeah. And I think there's an element in that run of, in addition to stuff with his powers and the morality stuff we've been talking about, he also has to keep track of the lie. Like when he's fighting or getting information, he has to like remember, like, did this actually happen? What is like, I can't break my cover story that like I've been doing this for 20 years when I haven't. So like he's also having to juggle that. There's like so many things. I mean, that run is probably the most solid, best Captain Atom like run ever. And that's from like the fucking 80s. Wow. And that's after Watchmen, because Watchmen comes out 1985. And that's Dr. Manhattan. Crisis happens 1985, and that's I think the first DC appearances of the Charlton characters. Is they show up in Crisis, and then they fold them in at the end of Crisis, which means that Bates Captain Atom series either comes out while Watchmen is still coming out or just after it. I would imagine.
It's either it's either just after. It's what you said. I don't need to repeat it.
Yeah, I think I might be wrong, but that's in my head. That's how that lines up. But
all right, well, let's go to the next question. He's not from Greg the Great. It's not Greg the Inadequate. It's Greg Fine.
It's Greg Fine.
Oh, Greg, what are you wearing? You're looking fine.
Yeah, fit that on a nickel.
Wow, you're transporting between podcasts now?
Yeah. Including
a podcast that hasn't come out yet?
Yeah, listen, it's like comics. If you want to understand everything we're saying, you gotta pick up all the series. Head on over to Ghost Phasers.
And make sure you subscribe to our Patreon.
Yeah.
It's the only way to really understand like all the like intricacies of our humor.
That's right.
Which is just referencing other things that we said before.
Yeah.
Greg Fine asks, hey, didn't Captain Atom do a genocide on the Wildstorm universe? I like that's the thing. You do a genocide.
Yeah. I mean,
what?
2 times bad things have happened to the Wildstorm universe that involved Captain Atom.
Oh, no.
The one was that one I talked about where he exploded in DC and ended up in Wildstorm. And they were like, fuck, he's going to explode. And he's like, I won't. I swear to God. And as that story unfolds, he does, like, Apollo and Midnighter die. Grifter dies. A bunch of characters die as he loses control of his powers and shit like that. But then there's also the later shit with Monarch that we talked about when he's Monarch and he's basically going on a war against the Monitors. And I think Superboy Prime like ruptures his suit and Captain Atom explodes and destroys all of Earth 51, which does not just mean the planet Earth 51. It means the universe.
Whoa.
He destroys the entire universe. The only survivor is Nixuotan, the Monitor of that Earth, of that universe. Which I'm not sure is really how Captain Atom's powers work.
But that seems a little overplus.
But yeah, I mean, I get in neither case would I say he is deliberately culling specific character. Like he's not going to Earth 51 and going like, "Where's Armenia? Point me in the direction." Like he's. It's accidents both times, and lots of people die. But genocide. It's missing. Like I think it's missing the intent of genocide, like the targeted malicious intent to call it genocide.
Why you have to say Armenia?
I think you know why.
We deserved it.
Oh no. Oh no.
All right, let's leave Twitter and head on over to Reddit,
where everyone's nice, no one's ever mean,
and not even once. Let's go to the first question, which is from Diaper Gal Kate, who asks, Captain Atom versus Martian Manhunter. I know he's got fire powers, but both seem like characters where it is hard to write them into a comic since they are broken. So I thought they might have a fun battle.
Such an odd matchup. I know we normally try and save this for fight night, but it was so odd that I was like, we should keep this in.
That is interesting, right? Fire, immediately sort of like puts him in a bad situation.
Yeah, and there's the question of like, can Martian Manhunter telepathically affect Captain Atom?
Oh.
He's living energy.
That's interesting. I don't know.
Can he interact with the quantum realm? Probably not.
I feel like I read a thing, like a comic in which Captain Atom was like, maybe he was like immune to magic or something because of the Dilustel like alien metal skin. And I wonder if that would also disrupt things like telepathy.
Oh yeah.
Things like that. I want to give it to Martian Manhunter because he's one of the big seven. He's a huge character, but I think for me, I'm giving it to Captain Atom, just on balance of powers and weaknesses.
Fire alone.
Yeah. What do you think, Butt?
I don't know, because the real question here is how many eyes can Martian Manhunter make to zap Captain Atom with? That's the real question.
Right?
Yes, of course.
No, it's no. I agree. Actually, I think. If Firestorm had immunity to Martian Manhunter's telepathy, would he beat Martian Manhunter? I think so. Yeah, I think Nathaniel would definitely beat him. Yeah. I think tactically Nathaniel could probably outfight him.
Yeah. There's an interesting question here too, in that, Firestorm canonically can be affected telepathically, because the Firestorm matrix is like a telepathic nuclear matrix. Yeah. That's how it binds their minds together during Forever Evil. That's where the crime syndicate traps the Justice League, both physically and mentally. They're trapped inside the Firestorm matrix, and Martian Manhunter has to try and communicate with the outside and with characters inside. But I think the metal skin is the ace in the hole for me for Captain Atom.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you? What do you think?
It's fire, right? Like that's the thing I keep coming back to.
Yeah.
Yeah. You show up to a Martian Manhunter fight with just like a pack of cigarettes.
Yeah. And I go, it'd be a shame if something happened to light up this fight.
Yeah. You're like Batman in that New Frontier where he says, I have a $70,000 piece of radioactive rock to stop Superman. With you, all I need is a penny for a book of matches.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's awesome. All right, let's go to the next question from Dr. DC Resident Neo.
Whoa,
dude,
I know DC.
We're going to fight, but tonight we answer questions.
Oh yeah, fuck orgy, as opposed to a non-fuck orgy, I guess.
What kind of orgies? Yeah, those are the ones that you're invited to.
Those are the ones I'm invited to. Could you just call them potlucks? I really hate when you call them non-fuck orgies.
Look, I sex sells.
Honey, we've been invited to another non-fuck orgy. It's a potluck, honey.
We're like a potluck. All right. Dr. DC Resident Neo asks, where does Captain Atom rank among tacticians and fighters? Thanks, Almighty Richard from the Canadian Podcast Winners and the other dude.
I can't believe in my own podcast I'm being called other dude.
Oh, Resident Neo, I love you.
Just when I think I can't get any lower.
That's what you said at the non-fuck.
Yeah,
potluck.
when we were playing Limbo at the non-fuck orgy. Yeah. But what do you think? Where would you rank Captain Atom among tacticians and fighters?
Among tacticians, probably. At least top 5, if not top 3.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, he led an invasion. Come on, he led the superheroes.
That's true. During Invasion, he was at the vanguard. I actually think he also didn't have powers at that time.
Really?
I think he had been depowered and still led like the heroes against the Dominators and the other aliens.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, they had enough faith in him to say, "You are the man to lead us." So he's that has to count for something.
Fair.
Yeah, that's fair.
Who would you say are like the top 10 tacticians?
See, it's funny. I wouldn't put Captain Atom up there. I mean, I get the argument. He's high ranking, he's military, he has that training and that. But to me, that just makes him better than normies. Like, I'd never think of him in the same category as like Vandal Savage, Batman, Ra's al Ghul, the
other guys.
Shiva for fighting, like I think there are lots of characters who have displayed like master tactical, like Deathstroke. Like, I don't know that I would ever put Captain Atom up there, but I do understand the argument. Like, he should be higher than a lot of heroes.
Yes.
Like better than Green Arrow,
better than Plastic Man,
better than Plastic Man, better than Flash, better than that. Like, he's better than people that don't have tactical ability. But then there's that kind of level of like the geniuses, your Mr. Terrifics, your Luthors, your
Detective Chimp.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
So like, I don't think he's the smartest by far.
Yeah.
I mean, like there are tons of geniuses in the DC universe, but does that make them master tacticians?
I mean,
That's fair.
That's a fair point too. Just because you make a great plan is not the same as executing it on the day
And
on the ground.
understanding like military tactical advantage.
Yeah, I mean that's a very fair point.
Understanding the people you're leading too, and like what makes them tick and what can motivate them. Like, it's not just chess. You're not just moving pieces on a board,
Yeah, that's true. And I mean, Batman very famously is sort of like the chess kind of tactician. Yeah, I mean, maybe there's a good argument to be made that Captain Atom deserves more respect that way because he has a much more practical experience with a very specific kind of tactics. In terms of fighting, what are we thinking for Captain Atom?
He's pretty good. I don't think I'd have him in the top 10.
No, I think he's pretty far down my list.
Yeah.
I do think he may have been briefly trained, though, when he lost his powers around Invasion. I feel like he picked up, like, I don't know if it was from Batman or Wildcat or, like someone like that, but I feel like he did get some training, like to sort of up his game a bit. Yeah, I think he's pretty far down that list for me.
He did. It was actually post-Invasion, and he did go on a run with Batman.
Yeah.
And Batman didn't want to train him and ends up training him. So, I mean, but there are tons of people who've been trained by Batman who aren't in the top 10.
Yes, yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true too.
All right, let's go to the next question from Dante's Fire, who asks, what kind of scientist comes up with we wrap a condemned soldier in a rare alien metal and we found then blow him up with a nuclear bomb? I would think the military could come up with some other less destructive testing to do a rare alien metal, especially after the soldier and alien metal were vaporized. But then they did it a second time. What kind of scientist thinks that'll be great scientific research? Dr. Megala.
Yeah, I'm not sure how you pronounce his name, if it's Dr. Megala or Megala or whatever, but
I'd say Megala.
He's a pretty insane kind of scientist.
With like in quotes.
Because
scientist.
He's right. So it's the thing we talked about. Nathaniel Atom is condemned for a crime he didn't commit. This is his way out.
Yeah.
They put him in this alien spaceship. They blow up a nuke underneath him. The metal bonds to him. He gains quantum powers. He's launched 20 years in the future. In the present, when that happened, they go, well, shit, it vaporized the metal and Nathaniel Atom. Bring in more metal and get the guy accused of sexual assault. And they wrap him, I think, in
Deathstroke?
Well, no, not. I know. I gotta narrow that down. So they bring in, what's his name? Clifford Zmek. That's Major Force's real name. They bring him in. I think they actually wrap him up in more layers of the metal. Jesus. I think that's like the adjustment they make for round two. but it does the same thing to him. It also launches him forward in time and vaporizes him.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's insane.
It is crazy.
Yeah.
It's truly crazy. And I mean, I don't remember from that run, but I don't know what like the goal of it was.
Yeah.
Like if you're just trying to test how tough the metal is, I don't see why you need a person inside.
No.
Hey, it might be really cool. You never know.
Fair. No, you know what? You're absolutely right. I apologize.
One of the residents, it could have been Dante's Fire, I might have just missed it, said, you know, the original Nathaniel Adam, he's meant to have fought in Vietnam. This experiment is meant to have happened in the 60s, and then he's launched forward to the 80s.
Yeah.
But they were like, it would have made more sense if, like the space race, they put like a dog in there first or something, because then you could have the excuse for like Captain Adam has like an atom dog, the way
awesome.
Superman has crypto.
That'd been fucking rad. All right,
Oh, sorry, no. What?
You can't hurt a dog, man. That's just cruel.
Yeah, that's
like,
sick.
Just put a human being in there, dude.
Yeah.
No. All dog. You know what? Get rid of the alien metal. Put Captain Nathaniel Adam in surrounded by dogs, and let's let off a nuke.
All dogs go 20 years in the future.
All dogs go to Magala.
Yeah. All right, let's leave Reddit and head on over to the Doc Scored.
Dox my score tonight. I don't want to dox your score till you see the docs.
Nice.
Yeah.
Whoa, we are not in fucking Instagram. You shut your goddamn mouth. Not in the Doc Scored.
Jesus.
Not in my house.
Good Lord.
Anyways.
Oh, now are there rules? I was looking at your comics and I just assumed we could do whatever we wanted.
No, if you're not intelligent enough to understand the system, that's beyond me.
One day, maybe I'll let you look at my comic collection. You can see what like true beauty is.
Oh, I already did. I mixed up everything. First question from the Doc Scored comes from...
Put you in the fucking alien ship with the nuke.
First question comes from Bruno. And in my most perfect Portuguese-Irish accent.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Who asks, about Captain Adam and Dr. Manhattan, what other examples can you think of alternate Earth characters that have become more popular and more important than their regular DCU equivalents? And was Breach possibly a better DCU character than Captain Adam since he had no Dr. Manhattan baggage?
So, first part of that question. Can we think of another character where like the character inspired by them kind of overshadows them? Because Manhattan, based on Captain Adam, way overshadows Captain Adam.
Yeah. Was there any other Charlton characters that do the same thing?
I mean, the Watchman is Night Owl is Blue Beetle, but I wouldn't argue that Night Owl is bigger than Blue Beetle. Rorschach and the Question. Rorschach's pretty big, but the Question
is now getting more traction.
The Question's got a pretty strong fan base and has shown up a decent amount. Mm-hmm. Silk Spectre, kind of based on Nightshade, kind of based on Black Canary.
Yeah. Black Canary's bigger.
The Comedian and Peacemaker. I mean, now Peacemaker's back, baby.
Yeah. What do you think, Butt?
Do you count Marvel characters?
So who are you thinking then?
I'm thinking Fantastic Four and Challengers of the Unknown.
Sure, right.
Yeah.
Kirby leaves DC, goes over to Marvel. They create the Fantastic Four, and they basically it's the Challengers, but they give them powers.
Yeah. Or Thor.
Yep.
Although I'm pretty sure there's an old issue of Challengers where one of them goes to space and gets like cosmic ray powers or something.
Oh,
like
really?
That. But it's just like one issue. But then that idea becomes the Fantastic Four. So yeah, I mean, I guess that's an example. Yeah.
The New Gods, and then
well, New Gods were an idea and created before the Eternals, and they're still bigger than them.
Yeah. Okay. Fair.
So maybe not quite that, but yeah, I do think you're right. Maybe there's some of those ideas, like you cast your mind back to like those episodes that we did where it's like Namor or Aquaman.
Yeah.
Namor comes out first. Aquaman's more popular.
Definitely.
Green Arrow and Hawkeye.
Yeah.
I mean, although
Both
Green
suck.
Arrow came out first and is more popular, but They don't both suck. You're wrong.
Yeah, they're both terrible.
Yeah, I mean that's maybe like a fair point.
Yeah. But otherwise, like versions that like Charlton, yeah, I think that's probably the only one. But
I mean, it's a very prominent example.
Mhm.
I'm sure there's others, but this is a very, very clear example.
I think there are. It's just like knowing who came first, and I don't know if Namor came first or Aquaman. I'm assuming Aquaman came first, and I don't
remember. Yeah, that's a good question. Actually, I don't remember. I thought it was Namor, but I might be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, if Namor came first, I think Aquaman's a lot more popular.
Oh, definitely.
Maybe
yeah.
I'm wrong there.
I think maybe part of what makes this such like a stark example is that until very recently, when they started doing spin-offs and stuff, revisiting the property, Watchmen was 12 issues. So in 12 issues, Dr. Manhattan obliterated the idea of Captain Atom.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Even though Captain Atom continued to be published, like in the modern consciousness, completely outshined by Dr. Manhattan. Now, I don't know if that was true. If you were reading comics in 1988, did you care about Dr. Manhattan? Maybe not. Maybe that's just us looking back. But there does seem, for only 12 issues really of existence, there seems like, it's kind of wild to me.
Yeah. Storm.
Let me ask you this.
Sure.
Do you think right now, as we're like contemplating these characters, Bruno is screaming at his phone as he's listening to us at like 1.7 speed?
I like to imagine that Bruno is always in the middle of some very delicate thing at work, like setting up a really precious like statue or something, something that he's going to sell for, those statues are worth hundreds of dollars, something like that. Yeah. He's setting something up very carefully, and then like I misspeak or say something and be like, oh, I'm pretty sure like Kyle Rayner was before Hal Jordan, and he just goes, ah! And he just smashes whatever he's working on. That's how I imagine that to go. It makes me happy.
No, I think he's as gentle with his hands as he is a lover, and he's doing neither of those things.
The other half of this question, though, is about a character called Breach, who was like kind of Captain Atom-esque, quantum powers, forged in a kind of nuclear accident, but was not Nathaniel Atom. Wasn't like a Dr. Manhattan character, was just a character with nuclear kind of powers. Who ends up dying, and in the moment of his death by explosion, pretty sure, Captain Atom pops back into the DC universe, like in his physical place. Do we care about Breach?
I've never heard of him.
No.
Breach had his own series. He had his own title. I think some people look back fondly on Breach. I don't have a ton of experience with it. For me, not as interesting. The stuff I like about Captain Atom, we've talked about a lot, and that isn't really in that Breach book, like the character pieces of it. Yeah. And the powers are cool, but they're never as cool as characters.
Yeah.
And I think that's where I fall on Breach.
You can use them to get some stains out of clothes, but otherwise, that's kind of it.
No, it's bleach.
I think we're saying the same thing.
Yeah. I drank a bunch of Breach on the way here.
I'm never in a coma.
And I'm still not in the Justice League.
As long as you don't start doing fairy tale murders, I think we'll be all right.
That's right. Oh, yeah. Go listen to Ghostfacers. More of those inter-podcast references, baby.
That's right.
Actually, that episode's not out yet.
I know, that's even worse. This is just our life.
Oh my God.
I know. This is you got to be with us 24/7. All right, let's go to the next question from the Bat Fan Who Laughs, who asks, has Captain Atom ever been the one to stop a crisis event or avoid a huge catastrophe from happening? Seems like he's involved with a lot of crisis events.
Well, but mentioned already, Captain Atom leads the defense against invasion.
Invasion.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's your answer right there, baby.
All right, moving on.
I mean, so that invasion one is a big one. The Dominators and the Alien Alliance, which might include the Khunds and the Gordanians.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Captain Atom is at the vanguard of. He's really largely responsible for winning that. That's a big Captain Atom moment.
Yeah.
Pretty cool stuff. The bit I was going to bring up is, I mean, not necessarily the ultimate like winner of Final Crisis, but Alan Atom, the Earth 4 very Manhattan-esque Captain Atom of like the new DC multiverse, has a relatively big role in Final Crisis. He's the one that merges Ultraman and Superman together. That line where he says like hate crime meets selfless act, that he merges them together, and then that thing fights Mandrak, the Dark Monitor, and stuff like that. He has a role to play in Final Crisis, a bigger role than Captain Atom arguably played in a long time.
Wow.
And that is an actual crisis.
Yeah.
So that answers, I mean, Invasion's not really, but
I would
that's a good point.
I would almost make the argument between Final Crisis and the multiversity and, just general kind of where the multiverse stuff has gone, that the Earth 4 Alan Atom, Captain Atom, is a bigger character than the Nathaniel Atom main continuity Captain Atom.
Really?
At least right now, I'd make that argument, Pax Americana and stuff like, which is kind of sad actually saying it out loud.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, honestly though, I think you really, truly, other than a couple of little blips and runs and stories and moments, you have to go back to that Bates run from way back and like the Invasion era when all of this stuff was happening. And like, that's when Captain Atom probably was the most involved, the most sewn into continuity, the most relevant, the most important. And that was 30 years ago. Wow.
Oh, yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. Kind of upsetting actually.
Yeah.
But
all right, let's go to our next question from Mullet Overlord. He asks, do you think Captain Atom works well as a protagonist, or is he best utilized in ensemble, and why?
Oh, great question. But what do you think?
Obviously, he worked really well. I think in an ensemble in that era, in the JLE era. These days, I don't know what his role would be on a team, but you do need like characters around him.
Right.
Do you count that as an ensemble? I don't know. These days, I would really like to see someone do like a 12-issue like miniseries or maxi series on Captain Atom, and like see Steve Orlando or someone like that do something.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't know what it would be about though. I don't know if there's enough there with just Nathaniel to be interesting.
Right.
But I don't know. What do you think?
I want to believe that someone out there can make the solo ongoing work, not just like I only have 6 issues worth of, I want to believe it's possible, because I do think he's an interesting character. I think there's good stuff to plumb in there, but if I will also concede that I like him in that leadership role. I like him for Justice League Europe. I liked him in Extreme Justice. I like those moments. I like him in Invasion. I like those moments for him. So I wonder if maybe, Task Force X, the Suicide Squad, operates Black Ops, non-attributed. They throw them under the bus. They're expendable, stuff like that. But in the way that, like, the government needs to have, we don't like that the Justice League just unilaterally does things. We have a government sanctioned blah, blah, blah. Captain Atom leads that. We call that Task Force A. It's, what I mean? Like, you kind of do that riff where it's like, you guys operate in public. Task Force X operates over here. were both in both cases maybe to nefarious ends, or like we've told you these people are bad guys, but really they're only bad guys in the like preserving American interests kind of way. So you can still keep that shit that I like about Captain Atom in there, but you also get him leading the team. You get to play off his military experience. You get to show him, in that leadership position and grappling with the power dynamic of his powers. How much should he be involved? Should he listen to the people giving him orders? All those kind of things, opportunities for conflict, both with bad guys, but also with other heroes who don't have to operate under the constraints he does. Yeah, I really want solo Captain Atom, but I wonder if maybe that's the easier way to at least get the momentum for the character back so people care about him, and then go from there.
Yeah, I think I'm in the same boat.
Yeah.
Honestly. Yeah. I want either, if he's going to be ensemble, I want him in something weird like Doom Patrol, or I want him in a solo series where we're doing this for all seasons thing, right? Like get an introverted sort of version of him where he's, maybe a little bit agoraphobic, like some stuff in him where he's afraid of what he has because he doesn't know how to handle it, or train him to control it.
A character we have not talked about, but could have an impact on this question is, what's her name? Amy Allen or Amy Adam, Bombshell, who is a teen titan that essentially has the powers of Captain Atom.
Oh, wow.
Again, with the metal skin and stuff like that. She kind of went back and forth, I think, between being sort of like a good guy and a bad guy and stuff like that.
Related?
But if you have, I think they are.
Yeah.
But if you had it where it's like she's been bad, she needs to be reformed. It's almost like that kind of like, I've been a bad mentor, I need to, train you and help you. I still don't even know how to control my powers. I got to teach you how to use yours and use them for good. And maybe that's the key.
I wouldn't hate that.
A new way in for that character or something.
Yeah. I like that idea.
I like that. I also like the idea of just putting him in something weird. I don't know.
Yeah, hell yeah.
The Doom Patrol thing is going to stick with me for a while because it's also the thing that works for Cyborg on that show, where it's like Cyborg fucking fits, man.
Yeah.
Yes. Who knew? Like, when I remember thinking, why is Cyborg there?
I think we all did.
Got it. It works so well.
Yeah,
totally.
Shit. We should get Shoshana on the phone.
Right? We have that ability.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, that is the final question.
Holy shit.
Which, you know what that means.
Oh, God.
It's time to play everyone's favorite game. Can you guess the name of the character based on someone who's not read comic books can describe that character to us? If you don't know, you better ask somebody. I sent a photo of a DC character to my wife,
Your wife,
who does not read comic books, nor does she care for them. She sends back 4 clues describing what she sees. The doctor and our guest, ButtButtFartButt, do not know who the character is. Based on these clues, can you guess who it is?
Well, shit.
Are you ready?
I am ready.
I was extra dastardly with this one.
Well, fuck you then.
Oh, damn it.
Dr. Magella.
Oh my God.
That'd be amazing.
All right. The first of 4 clues.
Okay.
Fab yellow swimsuit.
Okay.
Victim?
Fab yellow. No. Fab yellow swimsuit.
I mean, are you going with the Charlton Captain Atom, like his original costume?
No, that would be very funny. Different type of dastardly.
Yeah, yellow.
Not like making Liam Sharp guess at one of his own characters.
That's right.
Not that type.
Yellow swimsuit.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's not really a swimsuit.
Why? What is it?
I was just gonna say like Bumblebee or something like that, but that's not it. But do you have another guess, or should we get another clue?
Let's get another clue.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, another clue. Aquaman Hitler Youth. It's often
clue.
How many times has she used Hitler Youth as a clue?
Yeah, it comes up a lot. Yellow swimsuit.
Yeah.
I'm imagining blonde, blue-eyed.
Who's to say?
Definitely white.
Dolphin?
No.
Dolphin? No.
Oh, interesting. Yellow. Tula? No,
No.
Tula doesn't have blonde hair. The yellows. I'm getting too hung up on the swimsuit thing. That's probably just like a regular superhero costume.
Who's to say?
I need another clue.
Yep.
Go.
Rejected Whovian from the Grinch.
So they must have the hair fucking thing, like the Who's from Whoville.
Yeah.
Hard to say.
Yellow swim. This is where Bruno is breaking the statue.
Fab Yellow Swimsuit, Aquaman, Hitler Youth, and Rejected Whovian from the Grinch.
I ask this question all the time. I should know who this is. Or is this a very weird dive?
I would say both.
Okay. You're not like riffing on. This isn't like Javelin or something.
No,
like
no,
that.
no,
Like,
no.
You're not like trying to.
No.
Both.
Mm-hmm.
I both should know and should not know who this is.
Yes.
Is it the Flying Fox?
No. 1089? No. Do we need the final clue?
I think I do. Yeah. This is a tough one.
The final clue. Water elf.
Okay. I have to go through a bunch of water characters. I know these ones don't fit the clues.
Okay.
Merc.
No.
Mira.
No.
Siren.
No.
Nereus.
No.
Volko.
No.
Reverend Mother Satea.
Nope.
It's not Andrina Curry.
No.
Aquaman?
That'd be amazing.
No. That is very funny. I will say this is an Aquaman character, which is why
Yeah.
I feel like the doctor should know who they are.
Right.
And I will also give you the
This
clue.
is not okay.
This is
I'm just going to keep.
Yeah.
It's not the fisherman.
No.
It's not Charybdis.
No.
It's not Korumrath.
No.
It's not.
Cormorant.
I mean, it's not. It's not Aqua Baby.
No.
Is it the wait?
Mm.
Is I don't know his name. Is it the guy that takes over as king in that one issue?
Oh, I don't know. Actually.
Oh, it's okay.
Okay.
It's not the. Is this a trick guy?
No.
Okay.
This is definitely a classic character.
Atlanta.
No. No. Not Aqua something.
Aqua Lad. Oh, damn it. Okay.
No. Oh. Do we need a
Silver
photo?
Surfer.
What a fuck you. Technically a one issue. No.
I don't know.
Oh my
I
god.
don't know.
Oh,
But do you have a last guess here?
Fuck. No, I don't.
All right.
Oh my.
Hit us. Who was it?
It's Quisp.
Fuck.
Look at what you brought.
Shit, it is Quisp. God damn it. Fuck.
Oh, that's right.
Well, that's disheartening.
Do you see what I mean by I'm like, it's both a character that is you shouldn't know and should know.
No, you're right. Damn it. Fuck.
Quisp is a fifth dimensional imp who befriends the aquatic hero Aquaman. Quisp was for many years.
I almost went to Mix's Pitlick for a second too. I was
so
like
close.
on the imp train. Fuck.
I've seen that video. Quisp is for many years a valued ally to the undersea monarch. However, inspired by Aquaman's sudden change in appearance and outlook, Quisp became a deadly threat not only to Aquaman but to the entire world.
Fuck. Listen, that was a good one. Oh, that was a real stumper.
Oh, that was a stump chunkmaner. ButtButtFartButt, thank you so much for being on the show.
Hey, thanks for having me. It has been a pleasure. I feel like of all the Doc Scordians, I'm like the least deserving to be on.
and yet the most deserving.
That's right.
Because you did the hardest thing that a person could do, which is guess.
That's right. As we just saw.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. Yeah. Prove my own point there.
But is there anywhere people can find you online? Is there anything you want to talk about, promote, or whatever?
Yeah. I just want to give a shout out to some of the Doc Scordians. We have a great group of people over there. Bruno and I have become quite close. I love book club. I love reading. I love the community.
Hell yeah.
Every time like someone new joins, I like how we welcome them. Lovely Mrs. Long, thank you for giving me the name Citizen Butt. Bruno, thank you for messaging me at 1 a.m. to talk about Hero in Crisis because you had to tell somebody before book club.
It's true. We do have a great group over there, including ButtButtFartButt
and Dan Dunn
and Bruno and lovely Mrs. Long, all sorts of fun people.
Dan Dunn, Refrigerator Ninja, thank you for sharing your music and just being like really kind people. Mullet Overlord, thanks for encouraging me to pick up stuff. Like just got New Frontier because Bruno talked me into it. But yeah, I would tell people who are listening to this, if you have not checked out the Patreon, it is totally worth it. I will take my money after the recording is over for promoting, but it's totally worth it. The Patreon episodes are some of my all-time favorite episodes. I don't know why, but I like some of the other stuff you guys are into, and I love DC Comics. But in short, it's just been a pleasure to be on here. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Other Ryan, for running the Doc Scored.
Yeah,
I'm gonna forget someone. I'm sorry.
Oh, there's too many. The community is growing.
That's true. Yes, we've got a little family going on over there.
That's right.
And they treat each other better than they treat us, which is I love.
I mean, that's the best case. That's the best case scenario. Is that they're nice to each other.
Yes.
So if you join, you will be treated nicely. I will take it.
As you'd love to.
I'll take it.
Yeah, you beg for more.
I don't really. I actually kind of beg for people to stop.
But that's even more fun.
Listen, I'm Betamax.
Well, if you want to talk to us more online, if you want to ask questions for maybe a future episode.
Oh, shit. Yeah. What is the future
Because we know what that is
I do.
Off the top of our head. It's really great. What I love is like how often prepared we are. Like I ask a question of like what's the next episode? And what's great is that because we're so prepared and we've got all of these notes like constantly available to us. That
it's seamless.
On like absolutely seamless on a moment's notice, without internet issues or anything like that, that our doctor has become so prepared, and we've gotten so many episodes and episodes ahead. We're able to just like at any time we could just go, hey, like I wonder like what could possibly be the next episode, and the doctor seamlessly can just go.
Next week we are joined by special guest Brett White. We're talking about 60s Batman, baby.
Look at that in a heartbeat. I cannot wait.
TV
for this
show,
episode.
Comics, whatever. If it's 60s groovy Batman, we're talking about
incredibly dressed and funny Brett White will be on this show. I cannot wait for everyone to meet them. All right. And if you want to ask a question for that episode or something in the future, just reach out to us on our various social media platforms, such as our...
Oh, am I saying Facebook?
On our Twitter.
At Dr. DC. What is happening? Why did you pause there?
On our Instagram.
Dr. DC Podcast.
On our Reddit.
r/Dr_DC.
You can send us an email.
drdcpodcast@gmail.com.
Of course, the doc phone is open, even though it's been hanging dead on the ground. Yeah, the doc phone is open.
208-917-3238.
That's 208-917-DCEU.
If you're nasty.
And of course, you can go to our mostly dormant website.
drdcpodcast.com or .ca. It's not dormant. The episodes are there. That's what you want.
Or if you go back into the tomes, many a year behind, you find some articles that were written once.
Back before I had a kid or a life. You think I'm just here for you cretins? Yeah. By the way, our Patreon, Dr. DC. It's Dr. DC on Patreon. Patreon.com/DrDC. $1, $5, $7 level. That's cretins will eat it up. So
or just do it for
all
the
you
community.
fucking rubes, send us some money. You can join the Doc Squad, our awesome community where we definitely respect you. And there's at the higher levels, there's bonus episodes, there's videos, there's theme polls for what we're going to cover each month and stuff like that.
Think of us like gatekeepers and add to get into our community.
Like, but it's only about comics. We're like a comics gate.
Yeah, exactly.
No, we're not.
No, Jesus. That's what we're all about.
It's going to affect the algorithm.
And of course, we love those 5-star reviews. Give us those 5-star reviews. I like it'll come up in a future episode, but we got a 4-star review today,
which is such a fuck you.
Yeah,
I mean, don't get me wrong.
Don't set this precedent.
Don't get me wrong. Very funny.
Yes. Don't set that precedent.
What a fuck you.
Yeah. So make sure to give us those 5-star reviews. If you do it on iTunes or Apple Podcast or whatever, then we'll get them. If not, just send us a photo and we'll read it on the show.
Yeah, we've had people leave reviews in fun places, on their Tinder profiles, on a random chalkboard at a university somewhere.
I love that. Scrolling into the bathroom for a good time.
Printed off on a piece of paper, jammed into random books in a bookstore.
This is what we come here for. Speaking of things that we will read on the air, you can send us physical mail.
Yeah.
You could send it to either Richard Eden or Reed Vanier at 301 Hogue Street. That's Hoge Street, Whitehorse, Yukon, Canada, Y1A 1V8. We've had awesome comics sent to us. We've had just like regular letters and stuff. Like we love getting.
It's awesome. It's very, very lovely.
It's a nice special treat every single day, and it's at our workplace. So, so keep it SFW. I mean, I don't give a shit. I'm the boss. And of course, we have another podcast.
Yep.
Feed.
If you want to get the most out of this podcast, in addition to our Patreon, also go check out the other.
Yeah, I don't care if you like Supernatural, the TV show. It's for the continuity.
Just for the continuity, for the canon of the stuff we make. Check out Ghostfacers, a Supernatural rewatch. Podcast. We're going through every single episode of Supernatural. We're partway through into season 3. As of this point, we talk about real world monster lore, behind the scenes stuff about the episodes. We have fun guests. It's a great time. Go check it out.
Absolutely. All right. That is it for this week. Say goodbye, Butt.
Goodbye, Butt.
Ciao, ciao.
Adios.
They always fight for what is right. Live with danger and adventure. They are men of might.
This was a Brain Freeze podcast.
Thank you guys for the content. Like, seriously, like, it's a pleasure.
Oh man,
Oh, that's so nice to hear.
Yeah, now that we're not on recording anymore, yeah, we really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Yeah, now we could be sincere. If I could be real for a second.
Yeah. Us two as friends really love you and all the rest of the residents. That'll never make it to
including Bruno.
Yeah, especially Bruno.